name is Walter Cannon. I'm sort of an all-around technology guy that tries to make things happen. I always look for deals, look for right situations to fulfill a need, whether it be with my customer or with a vendor or a manufacturer. LinkNYC was something that started under Bloomberg, and Bloomberg wanted to provide citywide Wi-Fi in all 5 boroughs. So there was a RFP put out. Everybody bid on it, from Verizon, Time Warner, to a lot of different companies. We ended up winning the deal. There were about 2,400 kiosks rolled out throughout the city, with the schedule to grow over 4,200. Interesting from a standpoint that it was achieving some of the goals, which was citywide network, pervasive citywide network of fiber, in order to do both provide free Wi-Fi and also better connectivity in the outer boroughs. A lot of challenges, as you could imagine, in dealing with public-private partnerships, and dealing with some of the political different agencies. It could be very, very challenging. First location they wanted was Far Rockaway, Queens. So if you think about it, if you live in New York City in the 5 boroughs, you think about where Far Rockaway is and what it would take to get there. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. You've got to go through an airport, you've got to go through swamp, and there's no river crossing or swamp crossing. So how do you build to that? Very, very challenging. We ended up having it moved to Jamaica, but just being able to negotiate through those types of and wants and needs of the elected officials and their constituents versus what's reality from both a implementation perspective and cost. Each kiosk has multiple strands of fiber running to it, provides gigabit Wi-Fi. At the time when we started deploying it, was using Ruckus Wi-Fi. We were deploying the highest bandwidth available at that time. In addition to that, the newer kiosks that are rolled out has bays that can support cellular services for like small cell connectivity, public-private networks, so CBRS using different frequencies. In addition to that, it provides free phone calling. When we first started deploying them, we were always in the streets. We did 2 unique things. One was we did a lot of street involvement, so upfront personal tutorials, teaching people how to get connected, even to the point, hey, look, you can plug in and use the charging, the power. We also did something that I'm extremely proud of. We deployed what we call gigabit centers, and working with social organizations throughout the 5 boroughs, 1 per borough, and we provide digital connectivity and promoted learning. So not only could they learn on the kiosk, but they could learn throughout the 5 boroughs. There's a lot of reasons. Some of it is just lessons in physics, the canyons, the cement and iron canyons that exist throughout New York City. That's is very difficult to provide. But in addition to that, there's a cost perspective. And that's where the challenge lies. It's someone that everyone should have the ability to get. I'll be honest, I don't know if it should be free, because there are ongoing costs. While I empathize and I know where I came from, there's also reality in that most of the companies that ever tried to do it 100% free went broke. So if we want something that's sustainable, I think that someone way above my level should understand, how do we make it sustainable? I do like the approach that's happened on the mobile side of the business, and I think that we see a lot of competition there. There's still the affordability issue. And a lot of times, we saw it during COVID, people using the Wi-Fi of their neighbor. because it just comes back down to, can I put food on our table, or do I need to be on Facebook or any of social media? Or better yet, my son has to do his homework, and what's more important? So there's some complexities here that has to be figured out. I think people are willing to come to the table to do it. It's just a matter of managing expectations. And that's the hard part. I think the city council should get out of the way. A lot of the politicians, for a lot of reasons that I can't understand why, got in the way and continue to get in the way. There's 2,400 kiosks deployed. There's license to deploy another 4,200. The economic program is there, and it's stalled. Sad. So yeah, the question that you asked, there's a lot more to be done. There's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't have dead zones in the city, but you do. And what people have to understand, that at the 5G level, and as we keep moving up the Gs, there's going to be a need for the radio signal to be closer to the handset or closer to your tablet. There's a reason why T-Mobile has gone with 5G to the home, because they're bringing it closer to the person that's using the computing device. As we move into a world that AI is becoming more and more involved, latency applications are going to be required. I think that we as a people need to understand that and let free market have its way, and they'll figure it out. But if we have politicians in the way, taxes in the way, it's gonna get hurt. And that's my political statement for today.